So guys, finally P2B have come out to condemn the killings happening in Nigeria and have also called out the government over the insecurities in Nigeria. But before we go to what P2B have said, let's take a listen and some reactions of some top Nigerians. This is from Macroni. He said, useless and irresponsible government feasting on blood of innocent Nigerians. Mr. Macroni slams Tinubu government. This is from AY. He said, Nigeria now a crime scene. Every day brings fresh chaos. Comedian AY blames Tinubu's silence on daily killings happening in Nigeria. This is from Faz. He said, resign now if you've consistently shown unwillingness to protect Nigerians. Faz tells Tinubu after KB Kwara attack. So this is happening, not just this is happening after there was an attack in a church, which we saw the video that went viral. So let's get into what P2B said, because P2B actually came out to call out the government. First of all, he said that communities are living in fear. Our nation cannot continue like this. P2B decries KB Zamfara attacks and adoption, because you honor that all these are recent attacks, not that it happened few months ago. All these are recent attacks. What is the government doing about it? P2B also stated his ex-handle. He said, now disgraced nation. A few weeks ago, when President Trump described our country as now disgraced, many were outraged. Yet, how can we dispute it when within a single week, 25 people were kidnapped and one of our generals, along with other officers, were killed? Today, we witness another troubling terror attack in Kwara State. Rather than uniting in this critical moment, we are consumed by internal wrangling, party squabbles, and distraction. Look closely at what is happening in the PDP, the Labour Party, SDP, and other political formations. Crisis deliberately orchestrated by a government that should be embracing everyone so that we can unite in this troubling period. I am reminded of a pivotal moment under President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua during an internal crisis in my then political party. He instructed the INEC chairman, Professor Marus Iwu, that the stability of every political party, not just the ruling party, was essential for democracy. No party was to be undermined. All were to function within the law. What we witness today is the opposite. The current government seems more intent on weakening parties than strengthening our democracy, seeking to fragment the PDP, Labour Party, SDP, and others. In democratic nations, opposition is respected. Election reflects the will of the people. The governance involves carrying everyone along for peace and prosperity. A new Nigeria is possible. So these are what P2B and some other Nigerians have to react on this issue of insecurity, because it's not getting too much. So before we get to the video, let's take a listen at what an army man came out to say. He said that they are tired of losing their fellow army, because guess what? There have been some proof or some investigations that some people are leaking the plans of the army or the plans of the military to these bandits. Why wouldn't they do that? Whereas the government went to reinstate Boko Haram members back in the communities. Just take a look at that video and then take a look at the long videos. Let me get your views in the comment section. If you are new here to my channel, please do it to subscribe, and let's get down to the video.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Soldier Boy. Please, I have a very important message for Nigeria. Me, the way I lose my colleagues is getting to things where we say it come out tears for me, for my eye, day by day. In this country, we have 36 governors. We have like senator 109 senators. We get even the minister, we have like almost 60. We have House of Representatives, chairman of local government, 774. Let each one of them bring their son to join the Nigerian army. May they join the Nigerian army, not even the officer cadre. May they join the other rank. The other rank in Nigeria army. Let each of all those governors, or the senator, all those ministers, let them bring their son. May they join Nigeria army other rank. So that they can come and witness what we will not get people. What will they witness? Every day by day, this killing is too much. Person they lost, so we go they lost our colleagues ambush. You go lost colleagues, you go cry tire. Who know who is next? Over
the last 2 years, there have been 52 churches, depending on which region again you are referring to, because there are different regions in Nigeria. Since the last 5 years, attacks, not destroyed, attacks on churches, 102.
How many Christians have been murdered in Nigeria since 2009?
Since over the last 5 years, I can categorically tell you that 177 have been killed. And it does not mean that the killing...
But you said to me... You said to me earlier... You said to me earlier you did... Yeah, but hang on. Foreign Minister, with respect...
Muslims. They are not necessarily Muslims.
Here's what's happening in Nigeria is jihad. It's the exact same thing that happened on October 7 by Islamists when they broke into Israel and murdered Jews yelling Allahu Akbar. It's the exact same thing that ISIS terrorists did to the Yazidis in Iraq. It's the exact same thing that happened in Lebanon. Here's the only difference between what's happening today in Nigeria versus what happened 1,400 years ago when the Muslim Arab invaders came to Persia is that back then people did not have cameras, but today they do. It is 100% jihad. We've seen it before. This is how the Islamist playbook always happens. Right now, you have a Muslim president, and then they decided to choose a Muslim vice president. And so there is actually no Christian representation in the Islamist government. I was a politician for 7 years, Pierce, and I can tell when someone is lying and avoiding the truth. That's exactly what this foreign minister is doing, and shame on him for lying.
Let me tell you, there's a genocide in Nigeria.
All right, this is an explosive interview, Rufai. But I was quite shocked when I heard the figure. 177 Christians have been killed in 5 years. That's what, according to the Foreign Affairs Minister. Quite shocking.
I dare him.
Quite shocking. There are reports. We've seen reports everywhere.
I challenge him to bring that where he got that data from. He didn't cite the source. It's not true.
Well, all right.
That data is not true. It's porkies.
For you to speak. Meanwhile, global superstar Nicki Minaj gave an address at the United Nations headquarters supporting President Donald Trump's claims that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. In her speech, Minaj blatantly stated that Christians in Nigeria are being targeted and families have been torn apart. She also called for urgent action while stressing that this issue is not about taking sides or dividing people, but about uniting humanity. Let's take a look.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity.
This is about uniting humanity. And this is the reason why we keep highlighting the story, so that it can be tackled properly. But those statistics that the foreign minister reeled out on that show was quite painful to hear, Rufai.
Even me.
Yes.
Ashamed for Nigeria, ashamed for Tuga. Foreign minister of my country, go out there. You don't get facts, you don't get data.
The 200 people that were killed just the other day from Yelwata, 200, and the 500 that Dachamo showed us,
he said
that's 700 already.
What about the Christmas Eve killings?
Yes.
Amnesty reported that over 1,000 people were killed in the Christmas Eve killings. Okay, let's even say conservative number, let's say about 300, as reported by some people in that Christmas killings. You say 177, but it shows. And next thing, you are trying to put down the woman and saying all sorts. The woman was right. When we're talking about Muslim tickets, didn't people make noise? Didn't the likes of Buala say that was why he left the APC there? Has he not gone back the AP to the APC now? It's not going to show a level of balancing. And Tuga kept on talking about Sudan. The reason for the problem of Sudan, apart from the artisan problem in the south, when the north and the south was fighting because of minerals and other things that John Garang helped liberate, is that there are two independent warlords. In South Sudan, you have Riek Machar and Salva Kiir fighting. In the northern part of Sudan, after the exit of Umar al-Bashir from the scene, you have Ameti and al-Burnham, two top military generals fighting each other for the power of the country. So it's got nothing, to do, and you're trying to relate it to, don't turn Nigeria into Sudan. You see, all of this narrative, please, I'm just saying get your facts right. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Get your facts right. And for Real quickly, the police officers that they used for all of the back and forth. Let me just remind them in the words of another police officer when Wike and Yerima had an altercation. You know, one police officer called the military man in the corner and said, please, don't die in their war. These men they are big men, no.
That's Dele Faroti.
I just want to advise the police, don't die in their war. They are big men. They will settle themselves. But it's very sad. Look at the killings that have been happening in this country. I challenge the minister's rhetoric and his numbers.
Yes.
This is very... So you couldn't Tuga call National Bureau of Statistics and get data.
This is, I mean, he appeared to have been reading. He appeared to have been reading from a,
at least they should bring it out.
A piece of paper.
Is that not why we are funding them?
We have a data problem.
We have a data problem.
But we are the media. They can send it to us. We would like to see those figures because what we have is nothing compared to what the minister reeled out. I mean, this is tragedy that is really happening in Nigeria.
And it took him a while before he was able to acknowledge and say the data. At first, he was saying, no, we don't know. You can't really distinguish if it's Christian or Muslim. They don't check the religion of the dead. What do you mean? What kind of talk is that? We're not saying Muslims are not being killed. Yes, of genocidal proportion. But you can't deny the fact that there's a Christian genocide. Let's call it spade. They can't met yesterday and talked about it again.
All right, Christians are being killed. Now. Christians are being killed. Christians are being massacred. This is the conversation. In another tragic development, bandits stormed a branch of Christ Apostolic Church in the Eruku community of Kwara State on Tuesday evening, killing 3 worshippers and abducting the pastor, along with several congregants during a live-streamed service. The horrifying attack, which occurred around 6 p.m., was captured on video showing the congregation scampering for safety as sporadic gunshots rang out around the church premises. Let's take a look. In that video, we saw more than 5 armed bandits ransack the church, carting away belongings before kidnapping the pastor and worshippers. A witness told reporters that 3 people died immediately as the gunmen opened fire on the gathered congregation. Community leaders revealed that Eruku has been under banditry attacks for 3 weeks, with distress calls to authorities yielding to no results. The Kwara State Police Command has confirmed injuries to 3 persons, including a vigilante, but the full number of those abducted remains unclear. This comes barely 48 hours after bandits raided the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Kebbi State, abducting 25 schoolgirls. 2 of them have escaped, while we have also learned of a Catholic priest who was abducted in Kaduna State. Dr. Abati, I'm sure you saw that video. It was quite terrifying to watch. When I saw it, I thought it was an old video. I did not even realize that it happened just yesterday, amid this conversation and the crisis that we have in our hands.
Well, this is a sad reconfirmation of the fact that there is insecurity in Nigeria and that the Nigerian state has continued to fail in dealing with the problem, whether they use the phrase kinetic or non-kinetic. The fact that at this time there have been increased attacks on Christian establishments and Christian figures would seem to be also a reinforcement of the argument by persons who insist that there is Christian persecution in Nigeria. Whether this is orchestrated or not will be a matter for the intelligence authorities to find out. The attack in Kwara on the CAC Apostolic Church is reminiscent of the attack, years back in December in Owo. Mm-hmm. And now we have been told that years after, those bandits have now been attacked. Then you hear that a Catholic priest was killed in Kaduna, Riley Moore, even if he's wrong, says that 25 Christian students have been, abducted, and the teacher, the vice principal in the school killed. So it feels into this grand narrative. But one thing that we cannot run away from is that the state is not living up to its responsibilities. Look at that. That's a church there. There was even an elderly woman who was scampering for safety. This kind of thing, when it is seen by the international community, it reinforces the narrative. So the question to ask is that the intelligence agencies say they are responding, the security agencies say they are responding, but they are losing the battle, in this regard. Because if this kind of images go out, this kind of narrative will be reinforced, and then the Nigerian government will be holding the wrong end of the stick. And I said that the Americans are ahead, whatever the long-term objective may be. They've moved from traditional diplomacy to modern diplomacy. And that's why you have a Nicki Minaj talking, a former Canadian MP, a Ms. Gambari, who is spewing anti-Gambari rhetoric on UK television. That's how the game is played. Right. So that was why I was saying, where are our other non-governmental actors or, non-state actors, civil society groups who can help the Nigerian government at the level of diplomacy? But whatever it is, we all agree that we have problems here with security. Nobody is safe. And a state cannot be failing, and then it will fold its arms and say, oh, we are looking for help. People come and help us. Right. What are you yourself doing? Yes. Domestic policy drives foreign policy. Right.
Speaking about security and what has been done so far, there's been a 2019 video showing General Officer commanding the 7th Division, Major General Abdulmalik Bulama Biu, advocating for Boko Haram fighters to lay down their arms during an interview in Maiduguri that is now making the rounds on social media. The general, during the interview, urged the militants that they could advance in society and even could one day become president of Nigeria. Let's take a look.
For everyone, you need to come on board. Boko Haram should lay their arms unconditionally and be accepted in the community. Opportunities are out there for them. They can be rehabilitated. An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country. Why is he wasting his time when he cannot even deliver? We will do that. But we have appealed to them, including their detractors, their collaborators, to see reason to, as fast as possible, quickly drop their arms so that we can once again reoccupy our peaceful position.
So these are the fundamental issues that we have in our security forces. We have this rehabilitation program, and we're appealing and treating these bandits with kid gloves, saying that he could even become a president. And look at what we are seeing. We even have...
Are they not holding government position in other areas? Yes. Are they not taking picture of government officials? Are there not some states that they say...
There some local government chairman former Boko Haram.
We have those videos. We have this... We even have a horrifying clip circulating on social media showing the moment the now late Brigadier General Musa Uba was executed by the Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP after they ambushed his convoy in Borno last Friday.
This is heartbreaking. Now, statements like what the previous video says is what emboldens terrorists and bandits to carry out their activities, even with an audacity and brazenness, that some of them do it and come into the community and be making laws and giving directions and be giving conditions as to whether or not they were preached. When the Nigerian, it's a failed state. When the Nigerian army, the Nigerian government should be hard on them and neutralize it. They are causing terror, mayhem. They are ensuring that people are not able to live in their communities. We have Nigerians who are IDPs for many years in their own country, displaced persons in their own country, and we are there to appealing to them when we should talk tough and deal with the menace once and for all.
It's so shameful that this is the level where our country have gotten to. The level where the government don't care about the lives of those that are being massacred. But yet the same government is talking about the next election, whereas we are talking about insecurity that's at hand now. So what is the fate of a common man? If a brigadier general can be killed in Nigeria and nothing will happen, that means anybody in Nigeria can be killed and no single thing will happen. Imagine how many pastors have been fired in the north, how many Christians have been fired, how many churches have been destroyed. No, nothing has been done by the government, nothing has been said by the government. Even Sheyi Gumi, the leader of bandits, or let's say the bandit financiers, they've never arrested them, they've never even called them for questioning. They have been busy walking around saying that nothing should happen to their brothers. But yet, how many lives have been lost? How many Nigerians' lives have been lost? And the government are still keeping quiet. This shows that the government don't care about the lives of Nigerians that they claim they are leading. But let me get your views in the comment section about the video you've watched now. If you are new, you can subscribe my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video.